upcoming gender-based violence campaign that the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, together with the Ministry of Gender, Equality and Child Welfare, sponsored by the German International Cooperation, also known as GIZ, we are about to roll out, which we are rolling out on the 4th of June. That's this week, Wednesday. So this campaign basically it's part of the government response strategy to gender-based violence. In that, we are basically just trying to put our resources, our efforts together to try and fight the recent scourge of violent incidences of hate, incidences of killing, which are perpetrated towards our females and small children in our country. And we said enough is enough. We are then have to do something as a nation, and then we decided then to come up with a campaign titled End GBV Namibia campaign, in which we are basically just trying to roll out messages targeting to our target audience, which is Namibians between the age of 15 and 50 years, where we are basically just trying to bring forward or close to them information related to on signs they should look out for with cases or this scourge GBV, which is currently engulfing our Namibian nation. So as a ministry, we then decided to, as part of the campaign communication effort, to, number one, using social media, which we have this week started off. We are using social media, in particular calling for Namibians to basically speak out, to send us short videos, to speak out against gender-based violence. The plan is then to basically to try and put together all those communication to bring about awareness about how each and every Namibian feels and suggest what needs to be done in order for us to fight gender-based violence. So far, there's a really good and positive response to the call that we published on Saturday. So we have been receiving really good numbers and good content of Namibians sharing or airing their views and suggestions on how best to tackle this gender-based violence-related incidents.
Gender-based violence often goes unreported, as we all know. How is technology helping to make reporting easier and safer for victims of GBV?
Gender-based violence, in most cases, it's reported that many victims, particularly young girls who have been subjected to some sort of gender-based violence at the hands of their partners, a number of those violations or incidences do go without them getting reported for a number of reasons. And as a ministry, number one, we are trying to ensure that the country is having enough coverage in terms of network infrastructure that you can talk of, either in terms of network coverage, in terms of people able to reach, to be able to have radio frequencies in which they are then able to tune to radio station or to tune into radio programs that are giving them information related to gender-based violence, and such programs giving them information where they can get access to gender-based violence. But in addition to that, we have then, for example, through the various law enforcement agencies. Those law enforcement agencies, they have social media platforms, they have telephone numbers through which Namibians, they can contact those numbers, such as the toll-free numbers that we have, the 10-111 or 016 toll-free numbers that Namibians can actually call and report incidences of gender-based violence, in which they can do so in an anonymous and confident sort of way, in which their information will not necessarily have to be published. And for instance, when you go to a court of law and then you have a minor being trialed a gender-based violence matter, those hearing at times they would happen in cameras in which that means that juvenile or the person underage, they will not have to necessarily come in court and in the end trying to protect their identity, and then also not them to be subjected to unnecessary public pressure because they are minors and whatnot.
How do you envision the future role of technology in combating GBV over the next few years, and what developments or trends do you see to these efforts?
Technology is the future, and as at the Ministry of Information, there are so many countless opportunities that lies ahead to us as a country. You can talk of in terms of having CCTV cameras that are being rolled out in hotspot areas in which you have a high rate of GBV incidences recorded, and we are looking at together with other law enforcement agencies, looking at exploring those avenues where you have almost all streets or almost areas in which you are likely to have gender-based violence incidences. We are looking at placing some sort of surveillance equipment there in order to make it quite easier for the law enforcement agency to basically carry out the work. In addition to that, there is a component of you would find a perpetrator of GBV. They are in a court, for example, in Rundu, in a magistrate court in Rundu. They are given bail on a gender-based related incident, and then they are given bail. They come to Windhoek, to a Windhoek district, for instance. When that same perpetrator commits another gender-based violence matter in Windhoek, when they appear before court, at times the way it stands now, there are not so much sufficient systems that are interlinked to indicate to this same court in Windhoek that this person is having a pending case in a Rundu magistrate court, and the situation we are seeing now, this person ends up getting, for example, another bail simply because the system is not interconnected to pick up that this person is already on bail, so they are becoming a problematic in the society. They should at least be refused bail to remain in a holding cell until their matter is resolved. But then what is happening now, because of lack of that interlinkage between the systems, you are likely to find this person is already out on bail, he commit another similar offense, a gender-based violence-related case, then gets given bail in a different district, and they keep going on subjecting victims to this very unfortunate and heinous crimes. And so what we are now looking at as a country is that in the future to have interlinked systems, and together with any other preventative mechanisms, such as CCTV cameras, such as those criminal justice interlinked systems, that will then be able to up our game as a nation in order to try and prevent these crimes. And another opportunity that lies ahead of us, it's various technologies that our young people that can come up with. We are reading of very exciting technologies in other countries where gadgets or certain devices are being rolled out. They are given to citizens. Anyone who might want to acquire that gadget, and at any time they feel that they are being not safe or being subjected to gender-based violence-related incidences, they are then able to utilize such gadgets in order to call for assistance and to call for help. And in addition, it's also another platform such as social counseling, where at times people or perpetrators of gender-based violence, or even victims, we are suffering, or they are suffering in these incidences simply because there are no adequate avenues at which they can go, or even the costs of them accessing those services, it could be a hindering process. But with different technological opportunities that we as a Namibian nation can explore, we can make use of those. For example, mobile apps that we can come up with, and then you have, for example, social workers that are available on those the apps, and then they victims or perpetrators or any other possible perpetrators or possible victim to gender-based violence, they can get access to services through those apps just at the tips of their fingers in the comfort of the place where they are. And then in that case, it can either be information related to prevention on how to keep yourself safe in a possible GBV kind of situation, or someone that is basically they are in a situation where the type of pressure or the type of situation they are subjected to, it might end up or result to acting out in a way that is going to cause gender-based violence to their partner or to the people around them. So if we have now these different types of technological advancement, we then be able to use these apps or any other technological facilities to basically try and make use of them and then help us to navigate this situation. It's just that the Windhoek citizens, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, we are launching out a campaign that is really targeted to each and every one of us, because gender-based violence affects us. And then the hashtag NGBV Namibia campaign will officially be launched out or rolled out on the 4th of June, that is this week, Wednesday, at UN Plaza from 9 o'clock. Our Honorable Minister of Information and Communication Technology, together with the Honorable Minister of Gender, they are going to officially unveil communication and campaign materials on the hashtag End Gender-Based Violence. We are thus then calling all Namibians, particularly those in Commerce region, to join that launch, which will kick off with a street march starting at Miami Service Station and all the way to UN Plaza. That march is starting at 9 o'clock. So please, let's make our way to go to this official launch. And in addition, to follow our social media pages on which we are sharing this information with regards to ending gender-based violence. So our social media, we are both on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter, and just search up End GBV Namibia. It's a page that you see with a yellow profile picture. So please follow us, and then let's popularize the messages, and please keep sending those messages that we've requested for each and every Namibian to express or give suggestions how to fight gender-based violence in our country.